Hi there. My name is Anthony Schaller. I'm the founder and chief technical officer for the Mobile Broadcast Network, responsible for product development and service operations. My background encompasses over 25 years of building innovative technology products, including groundbreaking firsts into the market. I majored in computer science, attending the University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon University. University of Pittsburgh is the tall building in the back on that photo. My first opportunity was to work at Carnegie Mellon, where I was engaged in numerous projects across the campus. Everything from architecture, integrating embedded systems, and working on high-level systems, you name it, I was doing it. Well, I was recruited while there to join an internal 20-man team to look at developing a computing environment that would essentially forecast the way people would perform computing in the future. This project was called Andrew. Partnered with IBM, our objective was to architect a future workstation, 5 MIPS or higher, bitmap display with a graphical user interface, high-capacity storage that was several hundred gigabytes, and network attached via TCP/IP protocol to distributed servers and printers, all for a cost of under $5,000. At the time, this was heresy. In an LE 6.2 world, people thought we were not speaking with the realm of reality. Well, IBM invested in the $13 million effort with the goal to be the first in the world to see this happen. And we would connect 6,000 workstations on the campus. Of course, we had lots of other vendors that wanted to participate in this, including Steve Jobs, who paid a visit to us, showing us the Lisa. We decided that we would wait and see what the Mac provided as far as cost and performance. So we then decided development would start on Sun 2 workstations. And we built, essentially, the Andrew file system, which is what I worked on. A virtual file system allowed transparent access to information across the campus network. We also did advanced work on a GUI windowing system, as well as advanced research in human interface interaction in a world where really graphical user displays had only been done in the labs involving products such as Altos computers from Xerox PARC. I also worked on the physical network rollout, diagnostics, and benchmarking that was required to make sure this would all work. Finally, at the request for the Vice Provost for Computing, as well as the President of the University, we needed a practical application to demonstrate that this technology was going to work for more than just academic examples. So I believe the future would involve decentralized systems and move away from the monolithic one, system-fits-all approach. I sold this concept to the campus administration and got the approval to build a platform that would involve distributed registration across the campus that would essentially allow all the colleges to have control of their own data. This meant distributed databases, so as a result I designed and led a campus-wide team to put this system in place and implement, the architecture of which became a platform for all of the other campus systems to follow along suit. In the agreements that I signed with major companies, the largest was closing a joint technology agreement with Relational Technology, who was a leader in relational database at the time with their product Ingres, and they were working on their Ingres Star distributed database solution. After completing the campus-wide project, I then decided to leave the university and join Relational Technology, which brought me to the West Coast. It was there I ran an engineering team on numerous efforts, including the benchmarking of a new architecture involving a multi-server, multi-threaded approach for Ingres, as well as the changes that were needed to get this product, or get that new release into the market. After the company went public and formalized their new identity as Ingres, I was recruited to join a new startup called SF2 Corporation, lead technical marketing. SF2 was focused on high availability storage, long-term retention of 100-year uptime for large databases. It was here that we invented and rolled out the first RAID 5 and RAID 6 system into the market. My role was to get the product actually out of R&D and into the marketplace in customers' hands, as well as figure out how the UI on the storage unit was going to migrate from an engineering-savvy skeleton framework to something that was more polished. After measuring performance and realizing that we had a lot of work to do to get it to where it needed to be, I took over the engineering effort to get the product finished. The successful sale of this unit to a major chemical company led to an acquisition for the patents and product by MTI Corporation. Following this, I had consulted to numerous companies, including Next, where Jobs is running his new effort in the workstation space. Finally, I was recruited to a company called MDL Information Systems, who was seeking to solve a problem for its pharmaceutical clients' concerns. They had data across multiple systems, object, relational, and textual databases as far as chemicals that were synthesized, information about the compounds, and also research notes. I came in and designed the solution, built the team, and rolled out the first multi-database system called ISIS Host, as well as supporting the interface to ISIS Host with a dynamic browsing interface across Macintoshes and PCs that could reflect the search results instantaneously across multiple servers and multiple databases of different types. ISIS became the product family with gateways extensible by MDL or its customers. It rapidly accounted for the majority of the revenue as customers began to take delivery. The design of the actual invention, the multi-database searching techniques, received broad patent for the techniques which were used. Most inventions involving search today refer to this far-reaching patent. After the launch of the ISIS product, I was recruited as CTO and VP of Product Development for Electric Classifieds, or Match.com. Here I was responsible to stabilize all of the engineering, scale up the operation to handle well over the 14,000 registrations per week the company was seeing, and provide a framework for analysis around the demographic usage data. After ECI, I was recruited to CitySearch, where I was CTO and VP of Development, responsible to get the recently redesigned CityGuide product into the market. Having stability issues when I walked in, we stabilized it, and under my direction shipped releases on time for the first time in the history of the company. We formalized the release procedure, QA, and were able to get the product to scale. It was that work that resulted in my working on the Ticketmaster Online acquisition, where we brought in its systems and technologies in-house. We wanted to be able to support on-sales from hitting a 3% ceiling to be able to go well over 30% at the time of first ticket availability for major events. As part of Interactive Corp, I also participated in the company-wide CTO discussions and strategy, including the eventual Microsoft Sidewalk acquisition. Following my work at IAC and Ticketmaster, I was recruited to join a group within Diamond Multimedia in the Bay Area. A few dynamics took place at the time. MP3 codec had been developed by the Fraunhofer Institute as a way to provide good quality digital capture and playback on PCs. Napster gained traction for file sharing, and the 5 major record labels were up in arms. Now anyone could easily share ripped music with anyone else illegally. Diamond, of course, had long been in the business since the 80s to provide add-on peripherals, both in graphics and sound cards, to the PC world. They were now facing a problem where Intel was now looking at putting the sound DSP chip on the motherboard. So, how do we make music portable? What's the next follow-on? So as part of the work that I joined, we figured out a way to get essentially the DSP made portable into a handheld device to provide better reliability to consumers and essentially change the way they listen to music from what was traditionally on CDs or portable CD players. The result was the Rio 300, the first digital music player in the market worldwide. Now, this wasn't good enough because the content was unsecure. So we rolled out the Rio 500, which was the next product that was brought to the market to provide security so that the content could not be ripped off that device. Of course, there was add-on supporting products such as the Rio Audio Manager, which was a graphical, essentially, application for allowing you to manage music and easily synchronize content to your device. The product continued as I was responsible to roll out the Rio 600, and then finally we decided to leave the hardware behind and focus purely on a software digital media strategy only, in which we would partner with numerous hardware companies around the world. The launch of Rioport was a spin-out focused on that effort. Rioport involved a 3-year strategy that I put together for getting content not just from the PC to a portable device, but eventually getting it to the device through the browser, and then finally into the home. That's right, a media server into the home, or media delivery into the home that would be secure, protected, and easy to work with. The first in this step was to sign agreements with Microsoft for deployment of our APIs within the Windows operating system and Windows Media. This became the framework then for us to take the Pulse One digital music service, which was the product family we rolled out, involving not just commerce, but inventory of digital assets from the labels directly, a protocol for them to be able to provide it to us through an industry standard API that became adopted by all the labels. We then also had SDKs for consumer device manufacturers to be able to build their MP3 or digital music player products that would tie into this ecosystem as well as talk to Windows, and rolled this out also onto the Macintosh platform. We also signed deals with application providers that had their own digital jukeboxes or media managers residing on those platforms. The result of this work and our groundbreaking techniques for making it easier for consumers to access secure content without them knowing it was secure led into a joint partnership, or I should say the approval by all 5 major record labels to let us sell the content digitally. So essentially got them to agree to pricing and the ability to sell content for digital downloads first. This is just a handful of the companies that we partnered with over this time. And as you can see, this ranged from retailers who are moving into the digital media space to major destinations like MTV to a number of hardware manufacturers in which our content or our technology was embedded within. And of course, then as we started moving toward media delivery in the home, then we signed with other agreements with design manufacturers who were looking at building products that were either servicing the cable industry already or looking at creating new media appliance products in the future. We had 5 patents that were put together involving everything from music delivery to portable devices to, again, media delivery in the home. Finally, with a sale of Rioport to another company, I then left and joined Overture. And Overture, of course, was the folks that invented paid search or pay for performance search. My goal was coming in and joining the office of the CTO, where I was responsible for development and continuing to evolve the paid for search platform. I stayed through the Yahoo acquisition, and then while at Yahoo, I focused more on technology strategy as an adjunct to my role, and there was responsible for building some of the first optimization techniques and essentially the strategy behind the way search would operate in the future, which became the basis for the Panama project and the strategies that were used there. Now, continuing on with that, I continued to proceed with numerous consulting once I left Yahoo, working with companies like Business Objects. I built also an advertising system for Nokia that was rolled out overseas for a mobile app platform. I also worked on a second screening interface involving second screening in line with broadcast, dynamic aggregation of data on the fly. Finally, with adding help to an effort that was going on overseas in the cloud computing space, involved a consulting agreement with a company in London. I decided during that time to look at user-generated content. It was my initial effort and initial thoughts around what people were going to be doing with the onslaught, or I should say the advent of mobile devices, coupled with video capability, coupled with the advances of 4G and what was going to happen with bandwidth improvements there, that led me to join with the other founder or the other co-founder at the time, Fred Campbell, and we decided to put together essentially this company. And as you see in some of the other videos and the narrative on this website, we're focused on providing the best platform for mobile video creation and storytelling involving professional techniques and professional capacities that everyone can use. Distributing content when you want it, where you want it, allowing you to create it from anywhere in the world, at any place, at any time. Thanks very much. Have a great day.